Just before we take our offering, there's men, if you have not been a part of it, it's the Authentic Manhood Ministry. You know, I just wish that we would all come to a place where we recognize this series of study has tremendous basic fundamental study. It has a way of going back and injecting into men what the original intent of God for you is about. That's what it does. That's why we call it Authentic Manhood Series. And we meet every other Saturday. As a matter of fact, we're scheduled, I think, to meet this Saturday, right? And so we need, there's some things that's worth sacrificing. And 6:30 in the morning is worth it. We're not there all day. Now, if they meet after time expired, that's on them. I mean, we have a good time and a good study. We're reaching, and I want to challenge every man. We're reaching into you. This is not about your wife. This ain't about your girlfriend. This ain't about nothing. It's about you. And if you listen to these biblical principles, you will discover how frail you really are and what God intends for you to be. And some of the things you already know, but some of the things you now have not cultivated. And that's what this is ministry is about, cultivating those things. So we have a snapshot, if you will, of the intent of what we want to do to display to you what's going on in Authentic Manhood. Brother Isaiah Williams is going to come. He's going to talk to us just a few minutes about a subject matter that he chose. Amen. Say amen as he comes.
Good morning, church. Good morning. 18 months ago, Pastor Barnes introduced to the men a Christian ministry, as he had mentioned, the 33 series, Authentic Manhood. Authentic Manhood is all about setting men up to live lives of truth and passion and purpose. This series offers clear and practical biblical insights on God's design for manhood that is refreshing and inspiring. This series points men to a gospel-centered vision of life that sets us up to enjoy grace as we pursue the promises of God's Word. As I have experienced the different volumes of the 33 series, I am building a version of my own authentic manhood that is built on the gospel of Jesus Christ, informed and modeled by him in his 33 years on this earth. In volume 1, which is called Man and His Design, I navigated through some manhood realities and unfolded God's manifold mandates for me and you. The study offered a clear definition of authentic manhood that helps guide me in my journey to authentic manhood. In volume 2, Man and His Story, I embraced how my past has affected my present and discovered how I can deal with whatever the future may hold. In volume 3, entitled Man and His Traps, this introduced a framework and a process that helps me understand what lies behind the manhood traps and beneath the heart of idols that can distract me from the truth and power of the gospel. In volume 4, this is Man and His Work. In this study, it is a guide that men can apply to our work journey, and as we seek to come alive and live out God's will in our work. Presently, we're in the study of Volume 5, Man and Marriage. Whether your marriage feels hopeless, numb, or is thriving, this study is for us because it looks at what God says about the institution of marriage, what the whole thing is about. It lays out an inspiring picture of God's vision for marriage that will change everything if you're stuck, or will encourage you if you're thriving. Volume 6 is upcoming. I can't speak on it, but I can tell you it's about man and fatherhood. I can guarantee you this study will be about setting us up to be winners as dad. This is the last study in this series. The 33 series is the perfect opportunity if you are young or matured, single, married, divorced, widowed, to join a Christian manhood community to develop into your authentic manhood. Here are the benefits and importance of being in a community of Christian men. The manhood community provides encouragement. Every man needs other men cheering for him and encouraging him on his journey to authentic manhood. Secondly, the manhood community gives additional insight to you. Having other men around you helps you to get a much better perspective on your life. Others can help you discover your blind spots and avoid costly mistakes. Third, the manhood community brings constructive criticism. We all need men in our lives that will be honest with us to help us become better men. Fourth, the manhood community makes your journey richer. Sharing life with a community of men makes the great times feel like celebration and provides much needed support when life gets rough. Men, climbing a mountain is a difficult and dangerous idea. Attempting to climb the mountain of manhood alone is not recommended. Just like a literal mountain climber needs to connect with another man for safety and support, we need other men around us to help us to stay on course with our journey to authentic manhood. Having other guys connected to us becomes invaluable when we slip, struggle, or stray on our course in our authentic manhood journey. The goal of this study is not just to fill in the blanks on our training guide, but also to actually fill in the blanks of our lives. Having other men walk through the experience with you is the key to moving the material from the pages into your actual life. Brothers, no one can force you to open up your life and work to make connection with another man or brother. Although it can be challenging and frightening, it's well worth the risk. Each series stands alone. It is not required to have completed any prior series. Brothers, 33 this series, Authentic Manhood Ministry, meets on the first and third Saturday of each month in Elias Hall at 6:30 a.m. Thank you for your attention, and may God's grace continue to bless each and every one of us as we go on our journey to authentic manhood.
What this is all about. The goal of this general overall intention is, excuse me, these men who go through this series, as they are developed, each one of these men, my intention is that each one of you will control a cell through this series. It's not just for the church. The intention is to take this thing to the community. And so we want to develop, we want to mature enough so we can get the concepts and principles and then be able to teach them. Each man in this ministry, the goal is for each man to be able to teach a cell of men. We do groups of 8, so we try to keep it small enough so we can be effective. All right, there we are. So that's part of what I'm proposing also in this series coming up that we're going to share with you. We want to thank God for Deacon Blue. He's back with us. Thank him for being here today, praying much for him as he continues to be strengthened by the will of the Lord. And as he always say, he ain't worried about nothing. He'll tell you in a minute he ain't worried about anything. It's just that whenever the Lord's will, whatever the Lord's will is. And that's what authentic faith is about. Amen. Time for our offering.